Do you believe in soulmates? Or the idea that everyone who comes into our lives is destined to do so, for reasons we may never understand, that you were fated to cross paths and meet with certain people who changed your life for the better. Whether it's romantic or platonic, your relationship with this person has a certain intensity you can't explain. You don't know why, but there's just something about them. You're in sync with each other's innermost thoughts and emotions. To borrow the poetic words of author Emily Bronte, it feels like whatever souls are made of, theirs and mine are the same. Encounters like this are truly special and rare, making it all the more important to be able to tell when you come across someone just like that. Here are 6 telltale signs that you've made a meaningful connection with someone. Number 1, you immediately feel drawn to them. From the very first moment you saw this person, you wanted to meet them. You knew you wanted to be something to them. You wanted to walk right up to them and strike up a conversation, desperately needing to get to know them. You felt intrigued by them and drawn to their presence for reasons even you may not completely understand. That's what it's like when 2 kindred souls cross paths. You just click, even when you've just met. You feel like you understand each other already and you get along with them easily, which brings us to our next point. Number 2, you love their company. Do you miss them already when you just said goodbye? Do you constantly think up reasons to meet? You love being around them so much that it's made you 2 spend more and more time together, despite not even knowing each other that long. You always have fun talking to them and being with them so much that it's made you crave their company when they're gone. And it doesn't even matter what you do together, because so long as you're with them, you know you're in for an enjoyable time. You find yourself making lots of plans with them and talking to them the most because they've quickly become one of your favorite people to spend time with. And the fact that they always say yes and go along with all your plans means they probably feel the same way too. Number 3, you can easily talk to them. Are you usually the quiet one in the room who likes to keep to themselves and listens more than they talk? But for some reason, you just find this particular person easy to talk to? You don't feel shy or self-conscious around them. And even though it's usually a bit awkward and stiff when you're first starting to befriend or get to know someone, it's never like that with you and this person. Because when you're with them, you suddenly feel more animated, talkative, and outgoing. You crack jokes, share stories, gossip, and have deep conversations with them, like it's the most natural thing in the world. Number 4, you feel comfortable around them. Does it feel like you've known them forever? When you make a special connection with someone, you become fast friends and you often feel closer to them than you do with most people. Whether it's romantic or entirely platonic, your relationship just has an intensity you can't quite explain, but it makes you feel comfortable enough to be yourself around them and open up to them in a way you never felt like you could before. You trust them with all your secrets and you let them in on all of your deepest thoughts and feelings because they make you feel safe and understood. They make you feel seen and heard like no one else ever did. Number 5, you're deeply involved with them. Do you come over to their place a lot and stay over? Have you met their friends and family? Do you call them before you make any big decisions or ask them to run errands with you, like buying groceries, getting gas, helping you move, stuff like that? As with any other relationship, be it romantic or platonic, moving forward and becoming more involved with each other's lives is a definite sign of a deepening connection. All of these things are signs that you and this person have become significant parts in each other's lives, and both of you are perfectly happy about that. And number 6, you've been through something difficult together. They say nothing brings people together like adversity. So it stands to reason that if you've gone through something serious and difficult with this certain someone, then it's only served to strengthen your relationship and your feelings for them. And whatever the reason may be for your heartbreak, an unfulfilled dream, the loss of something important, or falling out with a loved one, having someone around who stuck with you through it and helped you get through it just goes to show that the bond you and this person share is truly a special one. Connections like this are hard to come by, but when they do, everything surely falls into place. Having such a deep emotional connection can make a person feel anchored and explain why nothing else ever worked out. Thus, it's important to know and hold on to them when they come knocking. We hope we're able to give you insight into some of the ways you can tell if you found your soulmate. Do any of these describe your experience? Do you know of any other ways you can tell if you found a soulmate? Leave a comment down below and feel free to share any thoughts you have as well. If you find this video helpful, be sure to hit the like button and share it with those out there waiting for their soulmates. Don't forget to subscribe. Welcome back to another video. As a quick disclaimer, we wanted to remind our viewers that the depression signs discussed in this video should not be used to diagnose anyone with depression. If you or someone you know is struggling with depression, please reach out to a mental health professional who can help. With that said, let's begin. Have you ever had days where all you wanted to do was lie in bed and do absolutely nothing else? You just wanted to be lazy and not worry about any of your responsibilities. We've all had our off days. We've all felt lazy, unmotivated, and uninspired from time to time. And it's normal to feel like that. But we live in such a hyper-competitive society that's so hyper-focused on pursuing success and wealth that it's made us feel internally guilty for the time we spend not working towards something productive. When you overwork yourself to exhaustion and are dealing with chronic stress, it will inevitably have adverse effects on your mental and emotional health. But what if it could be more than that? What if your laziness is more than just you feeling burnt out? Here are 6 warning signs of depression that are more than just laziness. Number 1, you can't snap yourself out of it. A sense of laziness usually creeps in when you're overly stressed or if you've been working too hard for too long. And there are a lot of nifty tips and tricks you can use to snap yourself out of it, like making a to-do list, listening to motivational talks, or setting achievable goals. But when it's depression isn't a choice, and it's definitely not something you can just shake off or get over, no matter what other people tell you. Depression is a serious mental illness that needs to be treated with professional help and medication if required. Oftentimes, depressive episodes can recur throughout your life, so months of therapy may be needed to help you cope. Number 2, you can't cheer yourself up. Do you often struggle with feelings of unexplained loneliness, sadness, and hopelessness? Do you feel exhausted all the time and rarely have any energy? You might be feeling downcast and disheartened for reasons you just don't understand. And nothing you do seems to cheer you up or make you feel better. No amount of sleep, comfort food, self-care activities, or fun times with friends seem to do much to brighten your spirits. When you're battling depression, not even doing the things you used to love the most or spending time with your loved ones can make you feel better. Number 3, you've lost interest in everything. According to the American Psychological Association, a markedly diminished interest of pleasure in activities is one of the hallmarks of a depressive episode. So if you found that your laziness has made you lose motivation and interest in everything, including school and work, then that's a sure sign that something is seriously wrong with your mental health. With depression, you tend to lose interest in your hobbies and emotionally withdraw from those around you. You prefer to stay at home and lay in bed, doing nothing most of the day, because you just can't find it in yourself to care enough about much of anything anymore. Number 4, you can't function like you used to. Do you feel that your laziness is getting out of hand? Has it become too much for you to manage? Is it getting in the way of your work, your school, or your personal life? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you may be dealing with depression. In diagnosing depression, psychologists tend to look at the 4 Ds of abnormality. They are deviance, distress, danger, and dysfunction. So if your laziness is making you dysfunctional, significantly interferes with your everyday tasks, and feels like a constant hurdle in your life, then it may be time to see a mental health care professional about it. Number 5, your laziness isn't triggered by anything. Oftentimes, laziness manifests as procrastination and may be brought on by a number of different reasons. Some believe a sense of laziness reflects a lack of self-esteem, while others would argue it's because of a lack of positive recognition from others. It could also be due to a lack of discipline, self-control, and interest. But what about depression? What brings about depression? Well, the truth is, psychologists don't really know. But one thing we do know for sure is that it isn't usually triggered by just one particular thing. There isn't always a clear reason for why depression might develop. So if you find yourself feeling down, disheartened, and unenergetic all of a sudden, depression may be the reason why. And number 6, your laziness isn't a choice. Finally, but perhaps most importantly, the key difference between depression and laziness is that while laziness can be changed, depression isn't so easily altered. If you're feeling tired or unmotivated, you can do something to change that for yourself. You can rest, brainstorm, look for inspiration, and try out different productivity hacks to help you get out of your funk. But with depression, it's not that easy. It's not a funk that you can just get out of. When you have depression, you're not making the choice to be depressed or stay depressed. In fact, patients with depression often report feelings of extreme guilt, shame, and helplessness due to their depression. No one with depression is ever just doing it for attention. Mental illness goes so much deeper than that. Can you relate to any of the signs of depression in this video? If you or anyone you know is experiencing serious feelings of depression, don't hesitate to reach out to a mental health care professional and get help. Please like and share this video if it helped you and you think it could help someone else too. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.